Ta-da! Yes. Yes, I have this on vinyl. Anyway, moving on. What the hell is this, Zeos? Oh, it's a Zeos Platinum episode. Hi. This is the AudioValve Solaris. In fact, it's the AudioValve Solaris DAC edition, which this is $6,000. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you all tomorrow. Let's talk. Let's talk about Helmut, the man who makes this in Germany. And I know it's from Germany because the tape on the outside was like, Achtung! Don't touch. This is the most competent Swiss Army knife I've ever touched. I've ever had the honor to touch. I've got several things that I'm going to be hooking up to it and talking about. And it does every one of them exceptionally well. We have to talk about the magic and what's inside this that makes it so. So we're going to have to start somewhere. Maybe we should take a walk around, right? Start with the fascia. Headphone, balanced output. It's really, I found this guy at Can Jam with his other drinking buddies. Bunch of older German dudes. Super cool to talk to. So you get talking to me, I get interested in what you're selling me. What are you selling me? Everything. Balanced headphone amplifier. Okay. A single-ended headphone amplifier. Okay, you can plug in a 1/4 inch to either one of these or a double helix cable if you have XLR. Electrostatic energizer. Huh. My Stax are out here. Okay, what else you got? Pre-outs. Pre-outs for studio monitors or for power amps. All right, I'm following you. Speaker amplifier from the tubes in here. Oh, okay. Phono preamp built in. Huh. Huh. And a world-class DAC, like $1,000 DAC add-on. Oh, so German-made, cool as fuck tube, amp, preamp, speaker amp, electrostatic energizer, balanced tube, preamplifier for adjusting volume and switching things, and what now? I've done the math a little bit, and I think you might be able to pull off everything this does with like 5 or 6 units. But why? I love the laser etched glass that lights on the side and makes that glow. It's amazing. Let me talk about the build of the unit. All the sides are 3mm metal, except for the top, which is like, I don't know if this is 1/2 inch. I think it's slightly smaller than probably 1 centimeter black Lexan. Because if it wasn't, this would get to 1 trillion degrees from the heat from those tubes and you'd burn yourself on it. It's also very, very pretty. And if you ever damage it, you take the top off, you reverse it, you peel off the protective layer, and you have a brand new top because it's reversible. Gold furniture all around. The legs, the knobs, everything's gold. And everything needs to be wiped down constantly or you have to wear white gloves. And I'm okay with that because I like the look of this. You can get the hardware in silver or gold, and I think I like the gold and black better. I don't know, maybe I'm Persian. Input 1 is that home theater PC. Input 2 is this PAW 6000 expensive portable player, and I'm just using the line out on it just because. Input 3 is this Bluetooth stack. I've got a JDS Labs EL DAC hooked up to this X-Duo, wait, what are you? You're an X-Duo XQ50. And that's currently playing, let's see, where are we? 2, 3. Amazon Music, which does have Ultra HD tracks that keep popping up. Come on. They really need to let me pick just Ultra HD tracks. I just want to hear Ultra HD. I don't want to hear any of this other shit. I want to hear Ultra HD. But yeah, so Bluetooth, I've built a little Bluetooth stack because I think it deserves the best possible Bluetooth answer. Input 4 is the built-in DAC, which is USB connected to this laptop. And input 5 is a moving magnet, which is sad Knight Rider themes. Shpasta's gonna kill me. She hates when I do that. I have to keep turning that up and turning it down. Sorry, I'm gonna park that for a second. Let's take a tour of the back of the unit. Or the front. We got this, we got Energizer, we got it's balanced out. We got a 3-way switch here. Low impedance, which is speakers or really low impedance headphones, like under 12 or 15 ohms. OTL, which is the definition of the amplifier. It says that's the cleanest mode. OTL is the cleanest mode, dampening factor at 3600 and all sorts of funky numbers that you can look up if you're interested in buying this. Then Stax mode, which pushes 470 volts for your Stax through the tube. Following that, you've got the high-low gain switch, which, by the way, these switches, you see that little green light? Indicates high and low gain. Here's your input selector, your beautiful, beautiful volume knob. All the indicators here. That's 6 watts per channel, by the way. When you're in impedance mode, at 8 ohms load on high gain, you can push 6 watts. For any of you who's questioned, what does 6 watts sound like, Zeos? Skip. I don't want to blow anything up. Yeah, 6 watts will do ya. 6 watts will do ya. So you got high-low gain on that. This is the balance knob, and I love it because it's not just all the way left, all the way right. It's 3 decibels left and right. So you could adjust for malfunctions in a headphone or malfunctions in a head. Or if you're using speakers, you can go forward and backwards. So when you turn it up, you can't hear it, but it just biases it perfectly. Oh, and then this. You actually have to pull this knob out to enable the speaker outputs. And it has powered speaker outputs. And it has outputs for studio monitors. And it has a loopback recorder. And it has everything you'd ever fucking need. Ever. It's a finalized setup in a box. Zeos, should I get the thing and the thing and the other thing and the thing? Just this. Now, it is just a tube amp. If it had a THX solid state built into it, which you can get the SMSL one for $250, just stick it to the side with some blue tack. But this is I'm Done edition. Now, it was at Can Jam where I met Helmut and his posse. So it's specifically designed. These speakers that are playing, this is extra. This is the bonus material. If you're here for this. I've brought out 4 headphones. And they're... people always ask me, if you're on a desert island, Zeos, these would be they. Let's start with my HD600s. First thing we're going to do, we're going to put it on that computer. We're going to set to OTL mode, because we're not on low impedance anymore. We're going to set it to low fucking gain, because with headphones... 8 watts a channel. That's a lot, boys and girls. And you do not want to blow things up. So we're going to... Speaking of the devil. Now, for those of you who are uninitiated, this is my pair of HD600s. I love them, so I painted them. The cable I'm using is simply a 1/4-inch patch cable by Polynic. I'll link it in the description. That I cut in half, giving me 2 5-foot lengths. And then I soldered on the connectors. So all I had to do was cut, solder, done. Now I bought these adapters that go XLR to 1/4-inch, and then I could use them on this. And by the way, something I did not know, or never tried, you could just use any XLR cable to extend these away. I had 20-foot XLR cables on these headphones. It sounded perfect. Everyone screams at me, Zeos, you gotta try the bottle head crack. The bottle head crack will really let your 600 sing. If the bottle head crack is anything like the way this makes my 600 sound, I'll take it. But this is insane. This is exactly the kind of, and the 600s are a 300 ohm load, so they're a pretty demanding thing. And I'm on low gain at like fucking 3. Balanced. And I could lose my hearing. Very easily just lose my hearing with this thing. High gain, you actually start hearing a buzz. It's kind of like Back to the Future when he's turning up all the knobs. And you know something bad's going to happen when he gets to that... Yeah, no, 1.5 out of 10. Nope, low gain. Low gain. Low gain. If I had to show off this amp, I'd probably use these headphones. Because these headphones change the most when you give them a good tube. Give them a good tubing, not a lubin. Well, you can lube them and then tube them. But these fucking things. I should have saved them for last, for the show off. But I think I'm going to go Stax last. It's interesting to have an amplifier with so much power you don't have to worry about it. And then it's a tube. But it's not one of those like insanely clean tubes. Like I don't want a tube that's got so little tubiness to it that what's the point? Let's put that down. Let's go unbalanced. Neumann NDH20. Another dynamic headphone that works well with a tube. Let's plug this off in there. And either one works. Ah, it does get a little sticky. If an orgasm made sound, that is probably what it sounds like. Ooh, what is that? No. No, can't be you. It's gotta be you. Of course, it's something. Ah! Monogatari movie soundtrack. That's filter. Jack Reacher. Dexter soundtrack. I cannot describe to you the benefits of this tube design with this much power. And I'm obviously running multiple inputs to it, like Bluetooth. I've got Bluetooth running into it. It's a good DAC feeding out the Bluetooth. Or this DAC, or that, or this. And all of it's fucking perfect. Have we walked around the back yet? I don't think we walked around the back yet. We'll go around the back in a second. I want to show you the I want to do this for me. This is a for me thing. Real quick announcement. These are my TH909s. I love them so. I love them more now. I've bent the headband in to make them a little tighter, and these are Yaxi pads. These are the Yaxi TH900/610 Fostex pads. And I think I fixed everyone's problem with them. Everyone would usually say, oh, 909s, they got too much trouble going for them. And a certain tube amp combo, which I had mentioned in the past, the X-Duo TA10 with that tube, fixed it. But now these pads have eliminated it. So now let's plug in a regular balance headphone. How are we looking for volume? Because these are more efficient than most. These are so efficient that I could actually hear... Oh, why am I controlling it manually? I put this on it so I didn't lose it. But this is the remote control for this unit. It's a key fob with just A and B. And guess what A does? Down. And guess what B does? If I had to complain about the remote, and I kind of do, it's not infrared, so you could put it behind you and you could adjust your volume from like 50 feet away, is that it needs to spin up a motor, and the motor has to turn a while. And the efficiency of your headphone, or if you're using speakers, it's a little easier because I was maxing out some speakers. But if you're using efficient headphones, you got a long cord, if you're using very sensitive things, I would not recommend using the remote. Because it goes 1, 2, 3. 3 presses is I'm going to die with these headphones on. But if you switch to speakers, which is a matter of pulling that out, a matter of turning that up. Oh, by the way, please unplug your headphones if you're powering speakers or using powered monitors. This is not a unit that has added extra circuitry between the power units and everything else. You are in charge of not blowing up your headphones. If you're not using headphones, unplug them. That's the story. If you get this unit and you're only using headphones, then don't worry about it. But don't leave Stax plugged in and balanced headphones and unbalanced headphones. Something will dislike that. But if we're using speakers, which that's ready, that's ready, that's ready. Then you can just go up freely with that. Led Zeppelin. No. This is the second time I've had to no Led Zeppelin. Wow, my computer's real slow at changing tracks. You okay, baby? Oh. You can distort things with this tube amp and speakers. If you're in high gain mode and you're in impedance and you go past like 8 out of 10, there's a chance you're going to hear some like oohs. But again, it's not really, he's allowing you to power speakers with it. It's not designed to be a speaker amp. So the fact that I can still go Jamaican Steel Drum Christmas. Who doesn't have this? Whatever's playing on my phone. Gums, stay. God, U2 sounds terrible too sometimes. Jeff Buckley, much better. And then back to that. So remember, unplug your headphones. Let me go back. So going to OTL mode, low gain, back to that, lower the hell out of this, plug this back in. Now when you're on OTL, you're going to hear the slightest little until you turn that knob. It sounds so alive. I could read you specs on this amp all day. In fact, I'm probably going to near the end when I get bored. Right, Tubers? Tubers has made a visit, thank God. Everything sounds so smooth and wide and just infinitely powerful. It's like if there was a THX tube, I'd want it to sound like this. How's that for salesmanship? Steel Drum Christmas is now playing. All right. Put those down. Lower volume, unplug balance connector. Finally, L700 Stax. The very best day is when you absolutely positively got to show off every motherfucker in the room. Except no substitutes. So now, Stax are Stax. High gain, trust me, you need it. Plug this bitch in. It's a little tight. I like to hold the back of the foot. Balance is straight. Push that in because we're not using speakers. Now I hear this, and I'm going to get off into Jamaican Steel Drum. I question why people buy the Blue Hawaii, because I've listened to the Blue Hawaii a half a dozen times now with stacks like these. Usually they're not around. Usually it's the 009s because those are more expensive. So obviously they're better. They're not. But I never seem to. I don't hear the benefit of it over like a solid state energizer. I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. But everyone's blue Hawaii, blue Hawaii. I've never gotten one for review, obviously. I would have to clear off an entire table for it. Thing's huge. But if you're looking for a tube energizer, look no further. I mean, you could probably budget for a cheaper one, but this thing, what this is doing to these, I love them. I love it on it. It on it is great. And hang on. Two, three. Three is Bluetooth. The Bluetooth end? Why would a playlist ever end? You're not thinking it correctly. Ooh. What is this? Oof. But it's not even saying... Oh, these are things I've uploaded. That's why it doesn't say HD or anything. Wow. Jeff Buckley. Yeah, no. It's the Swiss Army knife that does everything as good as the separate components would do. Just think of the stack you would need to do everything that this thing can do. Walking around. We're going to turn on the iLouds in a second, because I have them room corrected. And as I said in my video, bass, doing bass things. As I said in my video, these are probably one of the best experiences ever in near field on a desk. Room correction, just right in your face, just, oh my God. So now, let's add that to a tube pre and sweeten up that sound a little bit. I am not to disappoint, iLoud. If you can see, because of the lighting, here's your USB. That's all you have for the DAC is USB input, which is why I have the laptop. Here are your speaker outputs, labeled left and right. Here is input 1, input 2, and the pre-outs. Input 1 is coming from the VMVD1. You have a stack of RCA inputs, including this, which is going to the turntable there. You also get a record loop out, which not many people need, but if you need it, and then here's your grounding connector in case your turntable requires a grounding connector. The whole unit weighs like 22 kilograms, I think. It's not light, even though the top is plastic. It's a very thick, very well finished plastic, and everything else is steel. And you can see the tordial transformer right there. In fact, let's take the camera off my head and give it an actual tour. Very rare in a Z review here. As you can see, there's your tordial transformer. Your lit Solaris sign. The best view of any amplifier ever in history. They just use mirrored panels, so you have a space in case you wanted another tordial transformer. Here's your DAC module sitting here. The heat coming off of this, by the way, the reason the top is plastic is so it doesn't... This would be so hot right now because there is a 100-watt oven inside of this thing. All right. I've got to figure out if I can put this back on my head now. Perfect. Let's... I can't tell you how good it makes everything sound that I plug into it. I mean, I can. I'm Zeos. I can tell you anything I want. Everything sounds like it's going through the best smoothing filter you've ever heard. And without any... These headphones, no distortion. Powering speakers. Those boot carts are not that efficient. I wish I had a big old set of Klipsch towers here. Or... roll out my big JBL Studio 590s, because those things are like 97 dB efficient. You have those towers here, 6 watts is plenty to kill you. I'm pushing them a little bit hard to get these boot carts to go. So let's leave that in. What do we got plugged in? Nothing. Okay, we're gonna go low gain. This switch doesn't matter when you switch on powered monitors. The outputs, the pre-outs, could actually be used to run a subwoofer with speakers because it's just outputting the signal and it's all controlled at the same time. So you'd have to get some sort of XLR adapter to do that. If you run powered monitors like I've got currently going on here, you have to control the power of the powered monitors. You got to turn them off. Or this thing outputs the pre-out all the time, every source. Maybe you want that. Oof. I hate Foo Fighters. Record quality. I don't hate Foo Fighters. Please don't park in the comments that I hate Foo Fighters. But Foo Fighters albums got progressively worse sounding as far as like dynamics. You can't fight me on that. I can prove that shit. But every song is so quiet. Oh, I fucked up. Pasta, please don't kill me. I fucked that up. It literally missed a disc. I want to hear it one more time. By the way, I have these set to 40 hertz with the bass down 3 and then room correction in the big room. No distortion. It's a jack of all trades. It could do everything you wanted to do for any headphone or ear speaker. I mean, it only has a Stax output, so I can't say every ear speaker would work, but Stax work, and that's the main reason you'd probably look at this. God, the imaging of that going across was just amazing. For something that can do, see, 1, 2, Mr. Robot. I'm filtering some of the best, accurate, fun studio monitors you could ever have through a German tube pre, and I don't understand how else to get this sound. To get... Because what tubes should do is it should add depth. Tubes are slower than transistors. That's why they sound different. They have to warm up, they age. There's a great line in this book, by the way. I'm going to jump to a page where I have a glove shoved in there. It talks about tube swapping, tube rolling, the Solaris DAC. And I want you to understand who Helmut is. First of all, that vampiric certificate of origin font, like straight out of Dracula. I do love the AudioValve logo. I would totally get a sticker for that. This handcrafted product was special made for your high demands to display the music on its finest way. We guarantee the employee will carefully produce and test it in all details. I believe that. Concerning the tubes down here. Incidentally, tube rolling is simply stupid in the models RKV, Luminaire, and Solaris. You can convince yourself by knocking on the tubes they will not hear any knocking sounds in the headphone. The man literally called it stupid. He called your hobby stupid in his manual for his $6,000 tube DAC amp. Balls. I like people who build things and have balls. I'm a flush with this unit. If it gets to stay here a little longer, I'm going to put it on my review desk to the right. You're going to see it every video, and I'm going to plug everything into it. And maybe I'll find out I hate some things more. Or more likely, I'll find out I like more things. You just have to plug them into a $6,000 tube DAC amp. $5,000 without the DAC. If you happen to have an RME ADI2 or something, by all means, skip that add-on. In fact, I'm just thinking about what you could do with corrections and an RME ADI2 into this as your tube amp. I'm happy. I'm happy that you're happy. do we have playing over here? Shit. Just shit. I don't know what else to say. Everything sounds amazing on it. I built this little audio cockpit just to sit and behold its wonder. And I got a couple guests coming, and I'm gonna sit them right here, and I'm gonna hand them the remote control. I'm gonna be like, all right, just hold that down. This should be on someone's Christmas list. Like, if you need all the things I'm talking about, really sit down and think about what your end goal is for your desk. Well, I want to get into electrostatics, but it costs so much for the Energizer. And I like to get a tube amp, but I want to swap tubes and then put that in. And I kind of want to control my powered monitors or maybe my speakers on my desk. And I like to go balanced, and I really want something that's handcrafted in fucking Germany with gold knobs. If that's all on your list, look no further. Zeus Platinum delivers. This is a beast. And I'm going to go Can Jam New York in February. I'm going to shake Mr. Helmut's hand because I've finally spent enough time with this thing to understand the insanity. Go back to these. What do we got? Doesn't matter, volume's down. Low gain, OTL. You can run headphones on the low impedance mode, but it does sort of soften the changes. If you find, like, here's one of the things I didn't talk about, IAMs. I don't think I would run sensitive IAMs on this unit. Sensitive headphones, you start to sense the background noise happening. It is a giant fucking crazy tube amp. The volume knob itself doesn't go down low enough to block it out. But right here, this... Let's see. No, I'm on Bluetooth. Let's get off Bluetooth. Oh, that's a lot of space, Andy. The only thing that I have been practicing with, or working with, especially in this scenario, is I've been lowering the volumes and gains down. Like, I don't have my phone up all the way. That's up all the way. This is almost up all the way. That you can't control. This is set to line out, so you can't control it. But don't over signal this unit. Tube amps, as smart and nice as this one is, it's not a smart amp. You over signal it, you're gonna get early distortion. It's expecting 2 1/4 volts. If you send it 2 3/4 volts, you're gonna get distortion way earlier in the power band. So try everything, source down, bring this up, bring up the source, bring this up, bring up the source, max the source, see if you get it where you need it. Now, it will play the speakers and headphones at the same time, which is why you have to unplug things. You have to unplug them. I could leave those there. That won't matter for this. Where are we? There. If you go to OTL mode, it doesn't output to the speaker terminals because it can't. They're too high impedance. You can switch to the Stax mode and have it output to the speaker terminals, but that will distort way earlier than if you go here. It may not sound as loud through low impedance versus Stax mode, but it's not worth it. There's too much negativity when you get up there. It's a great system, by the way. I love this. This is my baby. This is my baby. Go get some 20-foot XLR cables and you can extend it away. I don't know what else to say about this other than it's fucking grand. What would another headphone reviewer or audio reviewer say? Well, I think it makes the sibilance in my specific headphone much less greater. I don't know. I'm all about emotions. I know it's not the best way to throw your money around, but I do this too often. I have like if I go to Patreon, I go to set the tags, and I'm like, headphone, 135 headphone tags. I've listened to headphone after headphone after headphone after headphone after headphone, and every one of those has been in my house, and I've spent days with it. Every amp I've spent days with. Weeks. I've spent weeks with this since the unboxing. And all I can come to the table with is a camera on my head and how I feel about it. I could read... Here, where? Sorry, I have to shh the girls off for a second. I could read specs all day. 4 ohm test load, 6 watts at 8 ohms a channel. Great. Damping factor, 15 on the speakers. OTL mode, 220 ohm load, 8 watts a channel. 8 watts a channel. Dampening factor of 3200. And then Stax mode, 470 volts AC RMS. What? It's got an Alps pot. It's got multi-match transformers, Picatron included, and a fully automatic DC-AC servo biasing. I could just read all these things. Or I could just link to all these things and you don't have to worry about it. Did you know that it has a multi-VIA layer grounding bypass PCB design based on the theoretical principles of the Kelvin wiring? Holy shit! What does any of that mean? I don't care. I love the way this thing sounds. With my heart. The ears connected to the heart. And I'm not joking. I'm trying to make it seem worth $6 grand. Or $5 if you have a DAC. Honestly, the DAC for the 1,000 is probably the least appealing thing. Because it's a good DAC. It's a very fucking good DAC. And if you're getting it all made in Germany, you might as well get the DAC made in Germany too. But if you could save $1,000 and this becomes more manageable and palpable, do so. Figure out the 5 things you want to spend $1,000 on and then put them into one big ball and throw it into German hands. Which sounds like I'm saying something very wrong, but it's not. I'm done. I'm done. I feel like every review of something expensive I have to defend myself for not being a shill. And I think this monster proves it. Go to a Can Jam. There's Can Jams all over. I'm not sure if Helmut goes to all of them, but find his booth. You can't miss this thing. Sit down, bring your own headphone, plug it in, tell everyone in the world to shut the fuck up. I would recommend bringing a closed-back headphone because Can Jams are loud. And just spend 10 minutes on it. Just 10 minutes with your music. It's got RCA connectors in the back. Plug it into a Bluetooth dongle. Get your signal running through this amp into your headphones with your music, and you'll consider buying one. Let's see how long this stays in Z Review's hands. Thank you all for stopping by and enjoying the Knight Rider soundtrack twice. The theme played, and all the anime girls and headphones, and I got to use my Fostex stand for the Stax, and the Sendy stand for the Fostex, and the clip stands for the Neumanns, and then the Ion Forge stands for the HC600s. All of them switched around. If you want to see these reviews early, check out my Patreon. If you don't give a shit, don't check out my Patreon. If you want to be in the yard sales, that happens from the 1st to the 10th of every month, and absolutely nothing you see here will ever be sold in the yard sales. So, but other things will be. And I do ship internationally for half shipping. So if you bid $200.08 and the shipping's $80, you pay an extra $40. If you're continental United States, no matter what the item is, no matter how big it is, I pay shipping. You can see all these reviews early for $5. You get all the wallpapers I've ever used, ever, in one giant fucking folder for $2 or higher tier. And the $10 tier, those a-holes. How dare they? Because they literally get to live in my phone once they pay to get in the private background Telegram chat, where they've all seen videos of me setting this up. They're going to get the behind the scenes. I actually recorded like 2.5 hours of actually setting this up and doing the adjustments and plugging everything in and discussing it. They're going to get all that behind the scenes stuff. It'll probably come out sometime around when this comes out. I'll make it public, but they're going to see it first. So all that. Hi-Fi guides, the forum and the website. The website will probably not have this pop up when you're like, I want to buy an amp. Oh. But the forums will have a post specifically dedicated to this amp. And if you've heard it, if there's 5 owners out there, let them join. But if you've heard it at a Can Jam or any other meet, tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me what sounds better than this, especially for Stax. Especially for HD600 should be the only thing that's plugged into this at any Can Jam. We're done here. We're done here. I had to, the heat's blowing right on me, and this thing's blowing up, just heat. It's just, I'm cooking here. So thank you all for stopping by. I'm glad you stuck around for this like 40-minute video. 38-minute video? I'd love to take the guess. Anyway, peace out. I'll see you all tomorrow with probably a much, much more affordable review. Cool.